bet y'all were wondering where I was at. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Chronic Conversations. I'm Jerry Leonard, aka Jerry Anderson. This is my very special guest today, Joseph Scruggs. I call him the man of many faces, the guy you know from every band in Chattanooga, and also I've heard you referred to as that tall bass player dude.
Yeah, I respond to that one.
Yeah, so any of those that you might know him by, this is our guest. Let me tell you a little bit. Our co-host Jen is usually with us. She's not with us, so I was over there, had to kind of get things started. Have to walk over there and shut it down. But we miss you. Can't wait to see you back and have you back on the show. She'll be back shortly. Got a couple things to read. I have a brand new sponsor that I got to take care of, and then I got some news concerning a wrestling organization called NGWA that I'll go through right quick, and then we'll get to our very special guest. So Thompson's Personal Training. Sean Thompson is our new sponsor here at Chronic Conversations, so let me give you a little bit of information about him. Also, if you mention me when you go to him, you'll get a day free of training, which is a $40 value. So make sure you mention my name if you do go to him. He's got a great backstory as well. I've had him on the show. He's not one of those people who's just been super fit all his life, so I've become a personal trainer. He was overweight and lost all the weight and got certifications and stuff. So he's been through it. He knows what it's like to be that size and stuff. He is International Sports Science and Association certified, USA boxing coach certified, and he trained under the legendary my high school, junior high boxing coach Skipper Fairbanks, who recently passed away. So RIP and condolences to his family. It was definitely a big loss. One more thing I got to go over, then we'll get started. If you want to, man, you can be firing that up while I'm running my mouth. I'm all quiet here on my podcast because that's why people like to watch the podcast. Is to hear quiet.
That's why I watch it.
Yeah. All right, I got it pulled up. So this is North Georgia Wrestling Alliance. You may have heard of them before. They're under new management, new leadership, new vision. So they're in NGWA, and it begins a new era of indie wrestling as we fuse traditional old school style and modern techniques and present them in a compelling cinematic format. Our goal at NGWA is to reinvigorate a love for local shows and the indie wrestling by becoming the best we can and be present, a product the fans can love. Present. Maybe I should learn to read because I'm going to read copy on shows. NGWA plans to reinvent the indie wrestling scene and show the fans something they've never seen before at the local level. By presenting only the best talent in the best way, NGWA will achieve this goal. But if there is one thing needed for success in NGWA's future, it's you, the fans. And that's the truth, because whether it's, Valley Vibes or you're in a band or you're a local comic, or that's what we thrive on. That's how we practice, it's how we get better, it's who we do it for, as much as we do it for ourselves, right? It says if you're a fan of professional wrestling, indie wrestling, local wrestling, or whatever, come check out NGWA on Facebook, TikTok, and then help us spread the word. And let me tell you a little bit about a match. The main event there, let me hit this there. There's a guy named Rawhead Rex that was one of my mentors when I was a professional wrestler, and he's wrestling a guy named Cyrus, the Monster Cyrus. It's a very good reason. He's like 6'4", 6'12", like you, and except he's like 800 pounds. Okay, maybe like 400, whatever.
Yeah.
The big boy, been to Japan, hard hitting, moves like a butterfly for his size. But Rawhead Rex is somebody who has not only been feared in the ring, but in just about every backstage area and parking lot he's been in too. So this, you hear the cliche, a movable what is it? Movable object meeting unstoppable force. Yeah. This is literally it. This match. Oh, so if you're not doing something, check it out. It's in. Let me check. I'll find out before the end of the show, but it's in Georgia.
Okay.
And it's October 23rd is the show, I believe. And I'll get y'all some more information before the end of the show. Well, ma'am, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming and sharing some Chronic. It's great to see you again. Let's start off with Valley Vibes and the question I was holding off to now. So, my whole thing started with the love of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Within Joe Rogan, he's got his circle of friends.
Yeah.
in his circle of friends is one of my favorite comedians who I've been watching for a long time, even before Rogan. His name happens to be Ari Shaffir.
Yeah.
Now, I heard rumor that he had showed up from Bonnaroo at Valley Bob's. Is that true? Did you see him? Did you talk to anybody that saw him?
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
He was just hanging out, so
Yeah.
he was he pretty cool. Or
I actually didn't get to meet him. I was just busy by the gate, but I don't know, it seemed like he had a good time.
That's good. And for people who don't know, just Google him or look him up. He's got his own podcast too. I can't remember what it's called.
It's funny.
Yeah, he is funny. When I heard that, I was like, my God,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like we were talking before the show, because you're kind of on the way to Bonnaroo, and Bonnaroo got shut down because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped y'all's bottom line, get a few extra people in there and stuff.
I think so. It was able to like kind of be a safe haven for people who, come down all this way from different parts.
Right. Ones that are kind of in the middle or stuck in between.
There was, man, they like set up secret dance floors and stuff. The Bonnaroo people are crazy.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
I
They
couldn't
brought
imagine.
plywood. Like the first thing they did when they got there, these
Their
dudes
parents.
had electric weed eaters and were just
Wow.
like making their campsite. It's nuts. I've never seen anybody more prepared. They set up and like it was like one interior parking lot was nothing but the Bonnaroo people just camping by their cars.
Wow.
It was wild.
Yeah, imagine it was like what was the vibe there? Pretty cool. It seemed like everybody was like having good vibes. I mean, it's called Valley Bob, so it
Everything ran was good.
ran a little better than last year. Maybe I know y'all had some. When you was on the show last time with the guys from Good Grief, one of the mini bands we'll talk about tonight.
Yeah.
They had talked about how there was some red tape and stuff we had to cut through the first time. It was a little easier getting the venue this time and setting up. And
I'm not really. I wasn't into that
Not
side
privy
of
on that
it
side
too
of
much.
things.
That's Nate and Adam and Isaiah and our buddy Sammy. But
some of those are also Good Grief people, by the way.
yeah, Nate and Adam.
Adam is also somebody who's in every band. Well, you're really all kind of in every band in Chattanooga.
I'm
You
only
not-
in like 3.
Do you not want to save something for somebody else? You just stingy or
I'm just bored all the time.
bored all the time, right? Well, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, as I saw on Facebook, is I don't know how old it was, but you were talking about becoming a studio musician.
Yeah.
Is that your goal? Is that your dream, or is that just something to get you to where you want to go, or do you want your bands to make it, or you just don't care as long as you're playing music?
I think I don't know. It's like it was an aspiration
Right.
for a long time, and it was something I wanted to do. And it's actually really hard. It's a really like you got to be top notch
Right.
to do it. And I guess it would be like
Because it's any band that comes in, basically a studio musician is somebody that plays for a studio band that you could be playing for
anybody.
any genre,
just be
country. Yeah,
It'd be
so
super
cool.
awesome because like sometimes
Stretch your creativity.
yeah, just like the hired gun thing. I watched a documentary on Netflix like 3 years ago, and it was called Hired Guns, but it was like all people who just played, and they would just be the studio guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it detailed like just how many songs they got to play on. It's just mind blowing amount.
Right.
It'd be really cool. I don't know if it's gonna happen ever, but it'd be cool.
So you said you're in 3 bands. I know about Field Hockey and Good Grief. What's the third one?
I don't know if you're familiar with Sean or Rio Romero, but
Sounds familiar.
we just got like a little jam project.
Jam thing going on.
Yeah,
Sometimes those make some of the best music though, because you're kind of doing it to have fun.
that's all it is. It's like pure fun.
I love it. If I had a choice sometimes to go see a cover band or certain bands, or just go to some really good musician's house that were fixing to jam, I'd rather go listen to some people jam, because it's
Yeah.
always such a great vibe there. Now I know Adam Gann plays every instrument under the sun, as well as being in every band. Do you play anything besides bass or?
I'm primarily a guitar player.
Okay.
I was joining a band with my buddy Michael, and before that, I guess when I was like 14, my brother, I like started playing bass with him, and I was all right, but I put it down. And in 2018, me and my buddy Michael were starting a band, and our bass player just wasn't working out.
Mhm.
So I just picked up the bass, and then ever since then, I've been pretty much just playing bass.
Do you enjoy one or the other one more, or is there one? Do you feel like you can be more creative with one more than the other, or?
They both have their like specific draws, I guess.
Pros and cons.
Because guitar is fun and like you can make any soundscape you want, 6 strings, but bass you like feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's different.
Bass has always been my favorite instrument in the band because to me even more so than some certain drummers sets the tone for the rhythm and the heartbeat of it.
Yeah.
It's always fascinated me the different styles of bass. What is your favorite to watch as a fan? Do you like a Flea? Do you like watching people hit it? What?
Flea's good.
Flea's good. He's entertaining. I love
entertaining.
it. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Wolfpack?
Mm-hmm.
Their bassist Joe Dart. Man, he's nuts to watch. I don't know, it's just smooth. Geddy Lee too is awesome.
I like watching some of that. I guess you would call it funk, but I really like the ones that just really like it's almost like it's a drum. They're just
like using the percussive side.
Yeah, it's using the percussive side. It just adds that different tone and that different quality to it. I really love all the different kinds of bass, even the acoustical.
Like the upright?
Yeah, like the upright. I love listening to that. Because I really like, you hear some people say they like any kind of music. I really do just about. Other than polka, no offense, polka fans out there. It's nothing personal. It's just something I don't resonate with. But just about everything else, country, pop, punk, metal, rap, just about anything, if it resonates or it has feeling, I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Out of everything you listen to, what do you listen to most that's both that you enjoy the most and may most inspire you to be a better musician?
What do you mean, like the style of music?
Yeah, just a style or a band or what do you listen to it and both sides. I want to know like what you listen to just for fun, just mindless music, and then what do you listen to when you're looking like for inspiration or to be inspired maybe to create either?
I don't know. I always start with like Blind Melon and that like general groove and direction,
Right.
Like Allman Brothers and like I don't know, just jammy stuff.
Jammy stuff, yeah. Allman Brothers, I mean the ultimate jam band.
Yeah. It doesn't get much better than that.
Right, I could sit there and listen to that 50 minutes of just them jamming and not realize it's been 50 minutes. And the song ends and you're like, what happened? Whereas, there's some songs that are torture to get through, let's just face it.
Yeah.
They're 2 or 3 minutes long and you're like, how long is this? Like, what do you say? You got that friend that's like, you got to listen to this new music and you're listening to it and you're like, yeah, no.
Man, they go on for a minute.
Do a lot of people do that since you're a musician? Do a lot of people ask your opinion on
I don't know.
Things like that, or?
Not really.
Use that background probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to bring up the conversation a lot just because, yeah, I just won't shut up about it. Well, that's what I like about you. So, I want to bring some of that out, especially during the show. So, you talk about anything you feel like talking about. Yeah. We'll get to that. I'll push you. So, does any of your bands have anything coming up about something? I can't remember which band or where, so I'll check dates. I'm so excited. Obviously, I don't know why. I'm such a big yeah, it's like John said, thank you for getting not to forget. You may forget that you're supposed to call somebody, but you're not going to forget how you phone. Yeah. Yeah, so it's that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's what they say. Marijuana's only dangerous if it's falling out of the sky. Totally dangerous. I heard a thing one time that says it would cost like 8,000 joints or something like that to cause death. I said, that's not true. I did that at like 16. Yeah, all at once. I know it's so many pounds. And so, it truly is unfathomable. Yes. There's no even. you know anything. Whatever I can. That's a tough one. Tough one. Tough one. Gotcha. We'll move on. We're gonna have to dig that back. I'm not over it.
No, it's, I don't know. I spent a lot of time being stupid in my life, you know.
But you also became aware and changed it around,
Yeah,
right? So basically, you're a success story to me.
I wouldn't, I don't know.
Here's the thing: you're not perfect, right?
I mean, it's just,
Nobody is. Everybody has their faults. You know, you have your mess ups. The all in all, from an outsider, let me tell you, I don't know how you feel about yourself, but let me tell you, just like from me looking in, that's what I see.
Yeah.
So that's my perspective. But I can get how you had it different because you know you lived it.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's
it's a rough one.
it is a rough one.
Yeah. It's hard to look back on,
Right.
honestly, because it's like night and day.
And
And
let
I
me tell
may
you
smoke
though,
weed and stuff, but
right. Well, this
I
this
feel like
is
marijuana
not
saved
turned
my
into
life.
medicine. Yes, it saved mine too. So I was, it's always on my blogs, and always on my thing, and I talk about mental illness a lot on here. PTSD. I grew up with mental illness. Went through a bunch of traumas, one after another for a really long time. Ended up with PTSD. Went to the military. Ended up getting prescribed a shit ton of medicines. When one medicine didn't work, I was tried on another medicine. When that medicine didn't work or had side effects, they gave me another medicine to fill in those side effects. So they were throwing more drugs at all these problems I had. I'm on none of those anymore at all. And this is the only thing I use now.
Yeah.
This and CBD.
Yeah.
So it's definitely medicinal, and it can. My stepdad was in Vietnam. He had PTSD real bad. He tried it once when he was in Vietnam. He goes, I just had a headache, so I don't like it, but never tried it again. He tried it again recently. He goes, oh my God, this has changed my life. And it really does. Like, it sounds like we like to play the Cheech and Chong stoner guy, but when
Yeah.
it comes down to it,
it's not
deeper
just
than
because
that.
you're stoned.
It's not just because you're stoned. And once you smoke like us, you maintain because you're not necessarily trying to carry that stone feeling. You're trying to fix some things.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like it high. I think
Some people do too, and this is safe enough. Here's what Tommy Chong says. It says no matter what reason you use marijuana, whether it's recreational or not,
Yeah.
it's still medicinal.
Yeah, because it's still doing its thing.
It's still doing its thing, no matter what your purpose or intent. Unlike certain psychedelics and stuff, when you change your intent, you can have different experiences. Have you tried using any of those to help some of the healing from things like that? Mushrooms or ayahuasca or ibogaine. Have you heard of those?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've never done ayahuasca.
I've
There's
done
some mushrooms
DMT.
once and wigged out.
Yeah.
But I learned my lesson.
Well,
It's humbling.
yes.
Sure.
What those do is they make you face your demons, which is something we run from, and the running from our demons is usually what causes us to turn to something to either numb us or distract us from those demons.
Yeah.
When really the only way, I won't say conquer them because I don't know if you can truly conquer demons or you just learn how to play well or what happens, but I'm more functional since I started facing my demons instead of either trying to stick my head in the sand, pretend they didn't exist, or
You gotta face them to walk past them.
you do.
You know.
You do. You got to face them to walk past them, and it's the hardest thing you can do, and it goes against the grain of everything within inside of you because you want to run from it, right? It's scary. It's miserable.
Yeah.
But God damn it! On the other side of that, right?
Yeah.
On the other fucking side of that is it's a whole different ballgame when you become functional again. Because for a long time I wasn't functional.
Yeah.
For probably a good year till she found me and started, giving me the inspiration to turn myself around.
Yeah.
What was it that finally happened that helped you turn yourself around? Was it friends, or did you just come to the realization like I can't be doing this shit no more? Or
Yeah, just realized like if you keep up with that shit for much longer, like I don't know.
because people will tell you that like a million times, right? You end up either dead or in jail.
It's rolling the dice.
It's rolling the dice, but you hear it and it doesn't. You don't have that epiphany of how real it is until the realness gets real, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, I really do gotta.
Yeah. You know. People are dropping.
Yeah, they are. It's scary.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it is. I had This hurt my heart today. A guidance counselor at my daughter's school told a little girl with anxiety that anxiety did not exist.
No, it's real.
If anxiety doesn't exist, love doesn't exist, anger doesn't exist, sadness doesn't exist, right?
Anxiety is an emotion.
It's an emotion. Everybody has it to some level. Even excitement. You're getting on a roller coaster. You're doing that to have fun, but it's still anxiety, right?
Yeah.
You're playing a gig. You can't wait to get that gig, but you're nervous to go on, right? Because you care about it. So anxiety can come in all forms, good and bad. But I thought to just dismiss that and invalidate that little girl's feelings, who's this age and already having things like that's a disappointment to me. That somebody like that is in a school system.
Yeah.
Did you have good or bad teachers in school?
I had good teachers.
You had good.
They tried their best.
Right, right. And they probably planted some seeds that you didn't realize that may do some things that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
I had one mentor that made up for all the shitty teachers I ever had. So it was great to at least have that one person, because I didn't have a lot of people growing up either to look up to. I didn't know how to grow up or how to be mature or emotionally mature or what emotional maturity was.
Yeah.
Until I hit like around 35, because I just had no male influences to look up to and go, oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
How was it for you growing up? Did you have good male influences?
Yeah.
Did you?
I was really fortunate. I didn't listen to them.
Right, of course not, because we know until we know we don't know, right?
Everything my dad or, it was all right.
Yeah.
Everything he said, and you look back on it,
I
really should have listened. And I think that's part of growing up too.
It
Like,
is.
realizing, I don't know.
I
You
went
reach an age where you're like getting close to how old your parents were, and it's like this existential, weird thought process that starts to happen.
Also, you have this connection, this empathetic connection to, okay, they didn't know what the fuck was going on then either. And,
Yeah.
And, because
just doing your best.
Yeah, just doing your best. I feel like I waited my whole life to feel like a grown up, and I'm 46 years old, and I still don't fucking feel like a grown up. So I don't even know what the fuck that feels like. But I have become more emotionally mature, because I became aware of my own bullshit, and that's really how you change. You start becoming aware of your own bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And you got to stay aware. That ego is a tricky little motherfucker in there.
Yeah. It's weird when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's like my diet, and you diet for a while, and then or you're off drugs for a while, and then that little thing starts talking in your head, and now you need to reward yourself with that very thing that tore you down. It's weird how our brains operate to try to talk us into rewarding ourselves with something that nearly destroyed us.
I just changed my food.
Yeah. I did too. What kind of food do you like? What's your favorite ethnic food?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
That's be it.
I like everything.
Yeah, that's
one of those
it's
people
really
like,
hard. I have different moods. Like one night I might want Mexican or Indian or Chinese or Japanese. It just depends on.
Yeah.
Like music depends on the mood, right?
I like all of it.
Yeah.
I can't pin down anything.
I just wish like they have a place here called Chef Wes that I really love. It's a buffet style Asian restaurant. What I would love for them to put in is a Mexican style buffet, because I've never seen one of those.
That'd be sick.
It's always sit down in restaurants. Can you imagine if you just get up and
That'd be sick.
pile on your own shit, make your own fajitas your own? Yeah, that would be sick. I love Mexican food. I love all food. Probably a lot of this conversation may end up being about food.
There's an Amigos like 0.3 miles from my apartment, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Love it. Love Amigos. We have a place out here called Vallarta. It's got these carnitas that just, man, I love all of it. I love cooking it myself too. Discovered new foods.
Yeah.
You have anybody? You ever watch any cooking shows? You watch like Anthony Bourdain back in the day? Like,
Dude, Anthony Bourdain was the man.
He's my hero. Red Kitchen Confidential.
Really?
Have you seen his documentary yet, Roadrunner, that came out about his life?
I
can't
bring
either.
myself to do it, man.
You ever see those things that says what celebrity's death affected you most? It was him. Like I haven't watched his show since it.
Him and Robin Williams.
Yes. And since that happened, I haven't been able to watch no reservations, none of his old shows. I watched a clip. I watched the trailer to that, and he does some of the narration for his. It was just, I don't know. It's just like I want to watch it so bad, but I'm a sentimental old fool, you know. I'm really sentimental, so I'll be crying through that whole
Yeah,
damn thing.
yeah.
It's like I wanna
He's the coolest person ever.
be him. Like he doesn't want to do that travel, and it wasn't like they said. It wasn't about the food. It was about learning and traveling and knowing other cultures. And that in America, I think, is the downfall of so many people, is because they just live in their little areas and they don't. Oh, hey, look, our co-host and beautiful wife Jen has made it back, so she's safe. That's good. I was like just talking about somebody how that distracted me.
Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain, yes.
Yeah.
But to be able to learn to communicate with other cultures and other ideas and other perspectives without judging them. I mean, in America, if you eat your hot dog or pineapple on your pizza, people will block you on Facebook. It's weird how we are here versus when you watch other countries, right?
Yeah. It's strange.
Yeah, it's like why don't you absorb some of that instead of rejecting it because it's different? Like I like different. I like different. You know, I don't want everybody to be just like me or have my ideas or my perspective. That gets boring, right?
Yeah. You gotta keep it fresh.
You gotta keep it fresh. I don't like to argue. I don't really like confrontation. I'll debate on some topics a little bit, but only if it's more like a conversation where I want to see your perspective and see what you have to say because maybe I'll learn something and maybe I'll change mine. I never go into one of those thinking I want to change your mind or let me tell you. Like it's,
I'm sorry, I spaced out.
no, you're good.
Sorry.
That's going to happen a lot, man. This is pretty good stuff. Um, Shout out for that. Hey, baby, say hello.
Hey.
She's here. Say hello to Joseph.
Hello.
Say we got some.
So you got everything fixed?
I did. Um, I don't really know how I fixed it. And then I went to get Sean's copy that I was going to read, and I don't know what I did with it. So I had to go back into the phone and re-get all his copy.
It's coffee.
Yeah, copy is just an advertisement. It's this. I had to go back to the phone and get it. There it is. Yeah, I knew she'd find it. She usually does. She's my Sherlock Holmes. You have anybody that finds your stuff for you? You got to find it all by yourself.
It's all me. And it's not working.
You in a relationship right now? Got any pets?
I just got a plant.
A plant.
It
Is
was
it
pretty
still
cool.
alive or is
I
it
got
dead
a
plant?
Somebody at work gave me like a little clipping of it. And check this shit out, man. It's got a little bitty aquatic snail
What?
that's just chilling in the glass vase.
Oh,
It's gonna be sick.
that is going to be sick, man. That's what they say. Start with a plant anyway, and then you move up to pet. Kids, unfortunately, most people go straight to kids.
You don't have to pay a plant deposit in
You
an
don't-
apartment either.
You don't have to pay
That's
plant.
good, right?
You know what? If for whatever reason you and the plant have a falling out, there's no payments to make either.
Yeah.
Did we ever cover? We was talking about stuff coming up. Oh yeah, you said you'd have to check the dates.
Oh yeah, I have access to dates. I just said it and forgot.
Look, I forgot to. We've been enjoying ourselves on this program. I love. We're going to have eventually. Like I told you, I like to have all three of your bands on here. We talked about the way the studio's set up. It'll be easier to do it online. You find the dates?
I couldn't find it.
Couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get them. We'll get them to you. I'll put it up on my Facebook, or make sure you tag me. If you're on my Facebook at all, you're going to see everything. I share everything about Valley Bobs and field hockey and Joseph Scruggs and all that stuff. So at some point in time, it will come across my page. I'm sure.
Yeah.
How do you feel about pro wrestling? You have pro wrestling at Valley Bobs too. How cool
That
is
was
that?
awesome.
Because that kind of attracts a whole different vibe and genre too.
I don't
right?
think anybody saw it coming.
Right.
Because there was like this truck that hauled in the ring in the middle of the day and it pulled up on the hill and everyone was like, got pumped.
Yes. And I know those guys. I've worked with a lot of them. They're some really great entertainers.
Yeah.
And wrestlers. That show coming up it's. I just talked about the main event, and I've been a fan of wrestling since a kid. I was a pro wrestler for about 25 years. Not much excites me anymore. This match between Cyrus and Rawhead Rex excites me. I haven't made a trip to go watch a match probably since I've been a wrestler. But I'm going to watch this match. So if y'all have a chance, trust me, it's not just the main event. The rest of the card is stacked. This is not what you're going to expect. There's going to be great stuff for everybody. Have you ever seen any other wrestling at Valley Vibes? Did you ever watch it when you were growing up or anything like that?
I did. I don't really remember it though.
I know you're more like a music nerd. Did your interest branch out in other things, or were you just
Music and skateboarding.
music and skateboarding,
That's
which
pretty much
go
it.
hand in hand anyway, right?
Yeah.
Gotta miss skateboarding. I used to love skateboarding.
It's fun.
It is.
I'm trying to get back into it, but
Yeah.
it hurts.
It does.
It hurts
It's,
so bad.
you know, the tricks came back. The few I could do came back fairly easy. Like I didn't know if it'd be like riding a bicycle if I get back on there and just even doing all your kickflip or anything still. But those came pretty easy. But when you fall now and you get back up like you used to, I just go on my ordinary way. And now I need like a month's vacation or hospital stay when I fall
Yeah.
down.
It's nuts.
It's not.
I tried to pick it back up last year, and I was at the skate park, and this kid was like, "Hey man, do an ollie." I was like, "All right," and I did it, and it's the simplest thing you can do.
Yeah. It's the first trick you
But-
learn, right?
I like started falling, and I couldn't stop falling, and I just slammed on my hip,
Oh.
and I had to go to work like the next morning at 5 in the morning in Dalton, like stand up for 10 hours.
So you kids want to be a grown up, do you?
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
At least falling.
You got to maybe listen to your parents, take out the garbage, listen to field hockey, and go to Valley Vibes and
Wear a helmet.
wear a helmet. I should probably wear one at all times. If I'm not doing something athletic, I'm just the clumsiest person in the world. I was telling you how I screwed up the camera. I did that trying to just lift my laptop up and grab something out of the box. And next thing I know, I don't have any camera, I don't have any audio anymore. Kept plugging it back in, nothing was working. I'm like, okay, this is great. Because where I started doing this, I don't know anything about technology. And I used to be a computer nerd, but I haven't messed with computers in years.
Computers are nuts.
So everything for me is just like, I'm that old grandpa that you got to tell how to fucking use Facebook all the time. And here I am trying to figure this out. But thank goodness I figured it out. I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad we got to finally hang out and talk and smoke a little bit and share some stories.
Hell yeah.
Do you have anything as far as the Valley Vibes? Wow, God, there was something from last time. There's been so many people on the show. I really did y'all have some kind of EP or album coming out? Or it already came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it already came out.
Yeah, a few months back.
And what's it called?
Modern Love.
Modern Love. I'm pretty sure I've listened to that one then. Yeah, but it's the new one.
Yeah, it's just 3 songs.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
Little fun tracks.
they are. They're really fun. Well, that's what I haven't heard field hockey yet, but I've heard Good Grief, and that's it was that sublime Bob Marley, not necessarily reggae. I'm using reggae for example for the vibe that you guys have. That it's just like a fun vibe, So to me, I wouldn't know how to call could you put your band in a genre or no? It'd be hard, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah.
It's a big window.
It's a big window. It's got to be because
Yeah.
other than that, it's like, what's it in? It's in the fun genre. Like when you see you guys live, you can also see it on your faces. You guys are having so much fun that
Yeah,
it just really
it's pretty fun.
it kicks it up a notch.
Um,
Do you like the
It's
songwriting
probably-
part stuff first, or do you is it all about performing live for you?
they're both fun.
Yeah.
In different ways, like playing live, even if it's like 5 people standing out there, it's still fun.
Right.
And
It is. Same thing with wrestling or this show. I don't care if one person watches, if 5,000 people watch.
Yeah.
I get to have this pretty fucking awesome conversation with you. So I'm like, either way.
yeah, it's just about fun. Humans kind of need it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we need to be creative, right? To me, that's one of the things that dulls in us sometimes at school when in the opposite should be happening. They should be bringing that creativity out of us because creativity helps you in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's one of the things, if I'm not being constantly creative, that's one of my no-nos. You got, excuse me, those things that you kind of got to do to stay on track, stay functional,
Yeah.
That's one of my things is I have to stay creative. If I don't have a creative outlet, then I don't know if it builds up or I'll say sometimes I hear the muse talking to me. If I don't listen, she gets bitchy.
Yeah.
You know, it's what's it like for you? Have you ever had to go a long period of your time without creating, or I mean,
I don't know, in like some form or another. I guess.
Always.
Yeah, because I like cooking too,
Yes.
and that's like all I do every day.
You
There's like art in that too, in a
yes,
weird
there
way.
is. In every way, because eating you use all your senses with. It's one of the few things you use all your senses. You look at it, right? You smell it, you taste it,
Yeah.
texturally. I mean, how many times you hear somebody say they don't like something because of what? Texture. Yeah.
Texture's important.
Texture's so important. You don't want a mushy, soggy ass French fry.
No.
Do you like? Is there any kind of cooking, baking on stovetop grills or anything you like doing best, or any
I
certain dish?
love flat top grills.
Yeah.
It's like
I do too.
my home.
Yeah. What do you like to cook on there?
Anything.
Anything.
As long as I'm throwing it on like a big flat top, it's just fun.
It is, because you got so much space to work with. And
Yeah. I remember like watching Waffle House cooks when I was like 7 years old, thinking,
yeah, Waffle House cooks, and I would watch cooking shows growing up, and then I discovered the book Kitchen Confidential, and that's what led me to Anthony Bourdain. I was like, oh, this guy's got a TV show?
yes. Without Anthony Bourdain, I don't think I ever would have started working in restaurants,
Right.
at least.
Which is mostly what I've seen you working at.
Yeah.
Is that what you like to do to make a buck? Is that one of your
I mean, that's just
passions?
day job.
Yeah.
I love cooking.
Because it's different. You know, people are like, well, you should be a cook because you love to cook. It's like home cooking and having to do it for a living is a whole
It's a different ballgame.
different ballgame.
Yeah. High volume.
You're not cooking for you the way you like it. It's a certain.
I mean, you still got to do it the way you like it a little bit. You know?
Everything good? We have some technical difficulties.
I don't know how long he ain't been in the picture, but
He wasn't in the picture.
not the whole picture.
Well, we'll enjoy the part of him we get.
I mean,
So,
enough, but
oh, Joseph, well, that's fine as long as we get a little bit of him.
like,
I don't know what happened. I had it pre-done, but it's a growing thing. We actually I started with you remember back then, it's just Anchor and
Yeah.
a little voice recording thing. It's literally all internal inside the Chromebook, and you know now we got 4K and lots,
Yeah.
and it's really cool and adds a different dynamic being live.
Yeah.
Have you been live before, or as far as?
I went on my friend Tim's show.
Mhm.
He like does music streaming every Monday.
Right.
You know Tim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get to know everybody in that between Level Up and
Yeah.
what's his name? I'm friends with him too. He does a lot of booking for venues. I cannot remember his name. He's been doing really good. He's been like on a weight loss journey. I've seen him losing weight, doing really good. I think he just started back. I think he's usually at Level Up stuff too. I'm sorry,
Joey?
man.
Joey?
No, not
Oh.
Joey. Sorry, I can't remember your name. I'll look it up. Yeah, you know
I
what I'm
think I
talking
know who
about.
you're
Yeah.
talking about.
He always wears a hat. But back to the cooking. I told you this is mostly end up about cooking and stuff. Do you like just like smoking and cooking a little bit for yourself, or do you like kind of cooking for friends and adding the social aspect to it? What's your favorite way to?
I don't know. I guess when I cook for myself, most times I'm like being real lazy,
Right.
and I'll just microwave something or throw something in the oven.
Even when I'm being lazy, I'm eating something like Chef Boyardee spaghetti. I still got to spice it up.
Got to spice it up.
I'm adding a little garlic powder. I'm adding a little Italian seasoning. I'm throwing a little cheese. I'm making cowboy spaghetti.
Yeah.
I can never.
What's cowboy spaghetti?
It is baked spaghetti, and it's got like bacon, and it's like regular spaghetti, and then it's like a lot of cheese in it. Then you put a layer of cheese on top and stick it in the oven and bake it, and the cheese bakes on top, and it's almost like a spaghetti lasagna, but you can't really layer spaghetti. Yeah, it's really delicious. Well, a lot of times we'll eat before or after the show, so maybe next time we have you on here,
Word.
we'll throw down on that. We may have to do some cooking shows at some point in time.
The cooking show would be sick.
Yeah, I thought because we do it's Chronic Networks now, and I'm branching out, so we're going to have Chronic Adventures to where we do adventure shows. Our first few adventure shows will be some ghost hunting. That's another another interest of mine. And then one of the things I'd actually thought about is doing some, because people want I've had a lot of people ask me to go to TikTok, but I really don't do TikTok. But I could do just like little videos of that, or even do it into a long form show.
Yeah.
So if I did something like that, would you want to come be a guest on that? Maybe
For sure.
make a specialty dish. Do you have a specialty dish or
No.
something like if you make or somebody's like, will you cook for me? Nothing. You don't have like a go-to or nothing.
Not really.
No. I have a couple things, but not really that much. I just recently changed my diet too, so I'm eating a little less. Trying to get back in shape. My blood pressure got a little high and stuff.
Yeah.
When you're cooking, you totally cook for pleasure, or you sometimes you're trying to
I'm cooking for
get the
money.
steak. Yeah, you're cooking for money, right? Yeah, got to make that money.
Yeah.
If
But it's fun in doing that.
right.
Like, I don't know, I've always loved getting the finesse
Mm-hmm.
of working in a kitchen where you don't have to think.
There's a
You
flow
can just
to it.
go.
Come automatic.
Yeah, you just listen to music, zone out.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. If I could only have to do it like an hour or two a day, it'd be great. But they usually want you there longer than that.
Just a little.
Well, man, just make sure, like I said, you tag me on all your stuff that's coming up. All your bands, we'll get all your bands on here again.
Word.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you, like I started a thing and I tell everybody, and I want to tell you that time is the most precious gift you can give, and you gave me some of yours, so I truly appreciate that and see it as a gift. And thank you for sharing it with either both or everybody that will watch this. Either way, man, and I really would like to have you back on the show again too. And
For sure, man.
keep
Thanks
talking.
for coming by.
So, all right, I'll see everybody later. Peace. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.